Welcome back, Rainmakers, to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about something that's really on my mind, but most people's minds, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and that has to do with the NFT explosion, and we're going to talk about several projects related to that. So without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get this party started. Join me, Rainmakers. All right, let's get right into this. So, whoa. All right, so I want to bring up this article. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey sparks huge bidding war as $400 million NFT crypto mania spirals out of control. So, NFTs are going to transform the gaming space, and the gaming space is a gigantic industry. And so that's why all this NFT mania right now, and it's currently in everyone's thoughts and minds because many of the projects related to this are running fantastically. However, I'm going to bring you one that hasn't yet, but keep your eyes on this one because, you know, chasing green candles doesn't make you tons of money. You're looking for good entry points. But I did want to talk about what's going on here. So one of the first ones I wanted to talk about was Enjin coin. Now, Enjin had this idea that they would integrate with gaming and that you could lock up Enjin coins in rarer NFTs, making it so that down the road those NFTs really appreciate in value because there's not only the value in whatever that game item is, but there's the value in the NFT itself because at any time you could melt that NFT, which would destroy that game item, but you would actually get all the Enjin tokens out of it. Really novel concept that was amazing, and it's still early. We're still way early in this space. How can you tell we're way early? Because all the games that are using this aren't the best of tech yet. There's no AAA level games that are implementing this. Imagine Call of Duty, and you could get a special skin for your gun that there's only 100 in the world, and how much that would be worth. Well, we don't have anything like that yet, but it will get there. And what often happens is that it just takes a while for the main top tier games, the AAA games, to catch up to this because a lot of those games take 5 to 8 years in development. Like one I've been waiting for is Star Citizen, and I don't even know. They've been developing that for about 7 years now, and I don't know if they've really become aware of the NFT stuff. Although I did see with some of the higher tier ships, you can name your own ship and give it a unique name. So maybe they are catching on to this and have enough time to integrate NFTs into their top tier game. I would love it if they did. I like the massive multiplayer online role-playing games, particularly if they integrate cryptocurrency. That would be phenomenal because then you actually own your items and you can actually, in some ways, make money selling them, which has always been exciting to me, is I can play video games and make money. Years ago, I did that playing a game called EVE Online. Come to find out, Charles Hoskinson did too. In fact, one of my best buddies that I used to play with, in his regular everyday life, he made $750,000 a year as a programmer for 2 of the top banks in New York. And he would chill and play with me on all his downtime until he got a girlfriend, and well, you know how that sometimes goes. But we were some of the wealthiest individual players in that game at that time. However, back then they didn't enforce you selling items, say, through eBay, and so you could actually sell items through eBay and actually make some money. There's some reasons why they started enforcing that, but that was so fun to me that I could actually make money playing a video game. And I love that concept. Even though at the time in my job I was making more than $20 an hour, in the game and playtime I was making about $15 an hour playing the video game. Now some of it was grinding and some of it was hard work, but to me the concept of making money playing a video game was just too cool to pass up. And so when they started enforcing the ban on selling these items, well, then it was game over for me because that was so much fun doing that. I couldn't get past that when they started enforcing the ban and they would ban your account. All right, so back to games and game tokens. So Enjin has absolutely been blasting off, and we're going to review the tokenomics behind this. There's a current market cap of 1.5 billion. Most of their supply is in circulation in one form or another, 92% of it. And so I did want to backdate and show us where this ICO'd in November 2017. So right in the heat of the last cycle, actually right before everything went parabolic, and they attempted to raise 22,960,000. They attempted to raise 25 million. They got most of that raised, and at that time, the price, well, has appreciated since then 32x over that price. Not bad, right? So let's see if it says, yeah, you would get for one Ethereum at that time, and Ethereum was running about $400 back then, you would get 60,000 Enjin tokens. Don't we all wish we had multiples of 60,000 Enjin tokens? Especially seeing this kind of run up. Now this is Enjin coin versus Bitcoin. And I've also got Enjin coin versus US dollar pulled up here. But I always like to keep an eye on, is it outperforming Bitcoin or underperforming Bitcoin? Because if it's not going to outperform Bitcoin, I might as well be holding Bitcoin, right? I'm an investor who also does like video games. But the primary reason of me spending time in crypto is as an investor. Because there's no games that I love yet that have involved cryptocurrency. In fact, some of the games I'll talk about today, but me playing them is pretty boring for the type of video games I like to play. All right, but they've made phenomenal investments, and there are people who love that type of video game. All right, so we see all the way back here, it was a lot cheaper than it is now. In fact, if we go even further back, I want to show you, there was this big run up after it came out and you were able to trade it, and it ran up early January like many things. It also had this partnership with, I think it was Sony, that caused it to absolutely spike up and went crazy. And then, like often happens, kind of it petered out. So there was some good news, it went parabolic, and then it just tapered down because we were still in the middle of crypto winter. And this is, this bear run is what I refer to as a crypto winter. Bear market is what I refer to as crypto winter. And it was still suffering here, and most tokens were suffering because no new money was coming into crypto, except for us investors that had experienced this and realized that would happen again, and we were investing every penny we could. However, a lot of our stuff and savings and other things we'd put in during this time, and so this, I didn't have huge amounts of extra savings that I could throw in this, but just as I made extra money, I threw it into the market like many people who realized the value in crypto. And so a lot of money got transferred from other things into Enjin as it went parabolic, and then it kind of petered out over time and dropped actually all back to its low at just around 2 cents. Now 2 cents looks like a heck of a deal compared to where we're at now. We're pushing up to almost $2, so $1.70 right now. Now let's go on the smaller time frame so we can see exactly what we're looking at. Maybe we're watching a breakout right here, because what's happening is it's got this little formation. I'll get a little bit closer so we can be a little bit more accurate. It looks like this, and so it may be breaking out here. What you'll see if it is, see if it'll let me go to this. In fact, my line might even be a little bit high. Might have been more like this, and it might be breaking out. And if it breaks out, kind of comes back, touches this, and then heads north, it'll probably have some more traction in it and probably break the $2 mark, which is phenomenal if you're already holding Enjin. Now, is now a good time to buy Enjin? Well, I don't know that it is, unless you're going to swing trade it. It's already got some good news, some big news, and it's got some more big news coming out. They're powering this game that will be available on Steam. It's called The Age of Rust. How good the gameplay is, my guess is it won't be that great, but it'll probably be a lot better than most the NFT games out there. So it is a step forward, which would be amazing. And there's actually some really good prizes in here. I think if you unlock a certain thing, you can get, if you're the first to unlock something, this one certain thing, you can get a Bitcoin. And I think there's another 4 Bitcoin involved in this game. Now, these kind of games take a long time to develop, so they've been working on this for a long time, and this is available on Steam. I think the beta on the 19th, and then did I see the full game on the 21st? Something like that. Here we go. Primed to launch on the 19th of March 2021. So this is part of the recent news that has Enjin going crazy. Now, I like their concept, and I think Enjin will do really, really well this bull run. In fact, I think a lot of NFT and game item things will really catch on and see some really massive gains. And so it's not like you can't make money on Enjin investing in it now. I just don't know exactly how high it's going to go. Probably a lot higher than it is. This is versus Bitcoin. Let's look at it versus USD. And let's put it back on an hourly timeline, and let's just throw a chart on it and see where it might go. Okay, so up to the high point there. So it could go, like, if Angel were here and he was looking at this and he was talking about possibly swing trading, he'd find a buy-in zone or a load-up zone if it retraces to one of these points. In fact, it had a retrace here. Do you notice how funny how it retraced right to the 38.2 before then blasting higher? You know, if he were swing trading this, he then would have been loading up in this range, and then he would have been selling here as take profit 1 and selling here as take profit 2. Now, will it go a lot higher than this? Yes, you know, it would be great if it hits $3 and then $3.40 in the next month. Because what happens is things kind of go in cycles, even in a bull market. So right now, NFTs and games is all the rage. A month ago, it was, a month ago to 2 months ago, it was DeFi. And so what happens is you see these little mini cycles within the broader bull market run. And so also about 2 weeks ago was a Cardano massive push, and by extension Polkadot too had some runs. And so you see things cycle between these. And one of the things I don't do usually is I don't chase these kind of things. I might swing trade this some more. However, I've been holding Enjin for months and months and months. I bought it back in December when nothing was going on with it because I like it. I think it's fantastic. I think the gaming space is going to pay huge returns for early investors. And so I bought it back when nothing was going on, knowing that they would have some more swings. And so now they're having more swings. And so I actually, this was my take profit zone 1. And so I just took just a small percentage of profits, like 20% profits. But that 20% profits actually replaced my whole initial amount that I put into it. And then I've got another take profit zone, I think somewhere in here. And I'm only going to be cashing out maybe another 20% because this is one I'm going to hold through, I don't know, it might be December or so that I hold this one through. And I might have another take profit zone again before that time frame, and then probably a final one later. I do like to take profits along the way, and I took those profits into Bitcoin. And I wanted to show you actually what I'm interested in rolling it into, and we'll get into that in just a bit. So we got the Age of Rust here, some more screenshots from Steam. Probably looks interesting. I'll probably at least download it. I want to show you another game that has been a phenomenal investment. Now, I didn't know how this would pan out. At the time, we were in the middle of crypto winter, and you know, it gets boring when it's a bear market and nothing is doing that well. And I was thinking gaming is going to do phenomenal things, so I might as well keep my eye on gaming. And so Axie Infinity, 2 games came out, Axie Infinity and Gods Unchained, and they had a lot of hype because they had some big partnerships. And so they were selling, I missed the really early Axies that you could buy that had like special qualities. But I did catch it in time for the land sale just after they started selling the land. And you could get them, you would get them in little chests. And these chests cost, for a mythic piece of land, it cost 1 Ethereum. But at the time, Ethereum was about $80. And so for Forest, I think you got basically, or Arctic was the next most rare. and you got like 3 of them for 1 Ethereum or something. They were like 0.3 Ethereum each. And then there was Forest and Savannah, and I don't remember the cost on Savannah. They were quite cheap. For 1 Ethereum you could get a whole ton of them, but before I started buying, they had all sold out. But look at what these Savannah plots are selling for. This one is connected to a road, and it sold for 0.9 Ethereum. I think these were selling for like 0.04 Ethereum at the time. Now, that's when Ethereum was only like $80 too. So now with Ethereum being $1,500, something that they spent less than $4 on, they just sold for $1,400. Some really good returns. Now, unfortunately, I sold all my land before it hit these prices. And there's a reason I sold all my land before it hit these prices. It's because Axie Infinity, when they sold off the map, and it's essentially a big square, and in the middle is, I guess, where everyone's supposed to spawn or something related to that. And then on right around the perimeter of that, there's these Genesis plots that you would get just randomly by buying some of the other chests. You could get a Genesis plot in there. And the Genesis plots are the ones that sold for over $1 million. Somebody sold a package of them. I don't remember if it was 9 or 11 of them. Essentially, they sold for about $100,000 a piece in that package. The highest NFT sale to date related to a game. Pretty amazing returns, right? I think it was it might not be the highest. There might be ones higher than that in general related to a game. But it was one of the highest ones ever. And so I did get some Mystic plots. Now, Mystic plots were 1 Ethereum, and you would get with it a bunch of items like this. And so you would get actually at least 1 Mystic item with these. And look at what the items that came with it are going for. Now, Ethereum was about $80 at the time. It's now $1,500. So the item that came with is a bonus. Some of these are going for 1.3 Ethereum, 1.5 Ethereum, etc., etc. In fact, somebody just came through and bought all these Mystic items. They went crazy because this is the list of what recently sold. And I pulled this up to give you an idea. Wow, they absolutely bought all the Mystic items for sale. Holy smokes. Because I was just looking at this a little bit earlier. I was putting on the market. Some of my items I still have. I still have like 400 of these items from all the land parcels I bought. And the land, selling the land made me a ton. So, for example, when things started to really move on this, you could sell your Arctic plot or your Mystic plot for about 1 Ethereum. Now keep in mind it also came with a bunch of items, and those items were worth about 0.5 Ethereum, maybe up to 0.7 Ethereum. So you could get your money back, and Ethereum had gone up from like $80 to about $400 or $500. So essentially you would get your 1 Ethereum back out at a much higher value of the Ethereum. Plus, if you sold all these other things, you made a profit. And so I took some profits then. And then it went up even crazier. Ethereum stayed around $400 for a while there during this period, but this game was getting a lot of attention. And so I sold some more, and the Mystic plots went up to about 2 Ethereum, then eventually like 2.5 Ethereum. And that's when I sold off the remaining Mystic plots I had. And now they're going for a price of, this is 4.3 Ethereum. Probably some of the ones I had would have been worth about 6 Ethereum. And who knew? Because what you're weighing in this is the owners of Axie Infinity, or the makers of Axie Infinity, have only sold off 1/4 of the map. They still have another 3/4 that they can sell. And you don't know when all of a sudden that's going to be announced, and then most likely, depending on what price they're going to ask for those, if they sell a whole quarter, again, that's going to double the amount of available land. And depending on what price they ask for, it could shatter these prices. And so I just had to keep taking profits because I didn't want to hedge against that risk of they open it up and all of a sudden prices go down to 1 Ethereum for a Mystic plot again, if that's the price they ask when they put them up for sale. So I also sold off most of my items because the same thing will happen. If they sell them in these chests and you get all these extra items, the value of these will absolutely pop. And so it's a great time to be selling. I'm not certain it's a great time to be buying these items because of exactly what I'm sharing with you. You don't know when that's going to happen. So one of the other big NFT projects we talked about the other day was Ecomi or Omi. And one of our subscribers very smartly brought up something I had noticed too, and I thought I'm probably going to talk about that down the road. And so today's that day I'm going to talk about it. Now, right now, there's only 2 markets you can buy it on. You can buy gems, and you can convert them to Omi through the game. I haven't actually done that myself, so I don't know exactly how that goes. But in what I've read, that's possible to do. I just haven't gone through it. So now the price on Omi, I wanted to go through. I think I've got, maybe I don't have it pulled up. So we're just going to look at price here. You can see this pattern, and it might have broken out. It might be breaking out of that pattern right here, which looks like it'll come back and retest and then possibly even break higher. But we don't know exactly what the market cap is. I did see something that there was 110 billion in circulation. If you take 110 billion times it by that, that would give us a value of about 300 million market cap at present. So looks like it wants to break higher though. And my guess is with this one, this will be one of the ones that is around a long time from now. And some of the stuff that they're selling will be worth a lot, as well as their token. Seems to me that there's value here. It will appreciate quite well. So now what you buy matters. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Some of the pieces that are up for sale that have already sold and changed hands, unfortunately, those items are missed at their original price, which would be phenomenal. And if you're buying them on the secondary market, you're paying a fortune for them. There's still a lot of rares and other things available on the app itself. And even those, whatever item, will probably appreciate only because as this project does well, it'll be one of the early things. So I like a lot what's going on with this project, but I want to note something you might not have caught, or maybe you did, like one of my subscribers did. Look at the Explorer that's on GoChain. So you may not be familiar with GoChain because it hasn't been in the news a lot lately. In fact, it hasn't been in the news for a long time, but I wanted to show you something interesting. Now, I bought GoChain in their ICO 2017 or so, 2018 I think. And it's trading for about the same price. In fact, here was the ICO, 3rd of May 2018. And it's actually trading at less than their ICO price as far as dollars are concerned. So you can get it now cheaper than their ICO price. Now, it just, I don't know, they clearly don't have a PR person out there making these announcements because nobody even realizes that Ecomi or Omi is built on GoChain's network. So GoChain, they took some things from Ethereum and some ideas from Ethereum and they made their own blockchain, but their transaction fees are way, way lower and their blockchain is way faster. Fast enough that Ecomi or Vivi built their blockchain on top of GoChain. And what's funny is if you look at GoChain, look at that market cap where it is right now. That is a very attractive market cap price. So now their circulating supply is 1 billion, and I don't know exactly what this, whoa. Okay. I don't know. I guess we lost them entirely. So I don't know what their max supply is, and it's been a long time since I read their white paper. In fact, it's been 3 years. So that's something I'd have to look at, but still, that is very interesting to me. And so I actually just bought some more GoChain. I've held my initial. I've never sold it. I don't like selling in a bear market once I miss the period to sell it. And so I've just held it. It's tradable on KuCoin. This is the easiest one, and Binance. Now, if you don't have a Binance account or a KuCoin account, if you use the links below, in Binance, it'll actually give you 10% of your trades back if you use my referral link. On KuCoin, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. It doesn't give me the ability to put the slider over to give you anything back. I'm not even sure what KuCoin gives me. But every time you use those links, it does help my channel if you use that to create your account, and it doesn't give you a worse deal. If anything, it gives you a better deal. I appreciate it if you do it that way, but if you don't want to, that's fine too. So, yeah, I just made some purchases on this because I think this hasn't been in public awareness for a long time, and I know they just did some things with GoTrace, and they did a deal with like farming in Saudi Arabia so that they could trace the produce and other things. And so I saw that news a few months back, and I actually bought some GoChain a couple months ago, and it has done some things since that happened. I think, in fact, it 4x. I was able to get it down near half a penny. Yep, right in around here, close to half a penny, and it has since 4x from there. It's been trading at about 2.25 cents, or excuse me, 2.5 cents down to 22.2 cents. So there's a lot of room to run on this one. And so it's funny how most people haven't realized the tie they have with Vivi. And even though Vivi or Omi from Ecomi has pumped tremendously, I noticed that it was built right on top of GoChain. There's no announcement about that. They haven't said anything, but that is still the case. So looking at the chart, if you look, you see a bigger, I frequently talk about, this is my I'm going to trade a W here, or even better, you can see even closer a W. So we got lots of W's here. This thing really wants to break out. So you got one here. I like to see more of a rounded bottom than the sharp decline, but this has got plenty of a round bottom. With it taking off, it usually comes back and touches even with this line, this middle line here, before then breaking out to the upside. I saw this when I was looking at this morning, and I said, yeah, that is a great entry price for me. So I have been buying, and I'll probably be buying some more today, especially with seeing exactly what it's doing. And these are the type of patterns I look for in this market. This is why I don't chase huge green candles on things that I've missed. I'm tempted to get some Omi though, and I might do it only because where their price is. Enjin, I already hold plenty of it. And so I actually hit my first take profit zone, so I won't be buying any more of that. But let's go back to Omi. And like I was sharing with you before, it looks like it's going to hit a breakout from this pattern and probably break to the upside. Though, yeah, it's already breaking out to the upside from there. And probably have some more run. So when I see that, those make good entry points. The volume is strong. It's not as strong as it was back here when it drove the prices up. But video games and NFTs are in everyone's mind. Now that will fade. It's been going on for a couple weeks now. It'll probably go on for a couple weeks more. So if you're just swing trading this, don't miss your exit opportunities, because likely these things will kind of settle for a while. Now, will they do good during this bull run? Yeah, we haven't even hit the craziness that we'll be hitting later. If it feels like this is crazy and oh my gosh, things are appreciating, it is, but it's not like what it's like when it's at the peak. When it's at the peak, I gave a beach scenario before, where imagine you go to the beach and man, you got about 5 to 10 feet between people that you can set down your blanket, and you're a little bit like, wow, this feels so crowded. And kind of it is a little bit crowded, but what it feels like when the massive bull run comes is that you're literally on the beach and you have no more room than this. I mean, you can't even spread out your towel. It is just packed. And so that's a good time to be taking profits and converting them into something else that maybe won't have a big retracement, like US dollars. They're all right. I'm not a huge fan because they're printing off so many of them right now, but I would rather be holding something like that than something that might retrace, because many altcoins will retrace between 95% to 99.5% from their highs if patterns follow like it did 4 years ago. And my guess is most of them will. A few may not. And which are those few? I'm not exactly certain. Last bear market, there were 2 projects that did really well during the bear market, and that was Link and that was BNB token. You could say Aave did pretty well, but it really took off really at the end of the bear market. So almost nothing did well, and almost all the altcoins retraced 99 and 99.5%. So I just don't want to be holding when that happens. I do appreciate you joining me. If you're all the way to here, you've been fantastic. I know. Now, I did fix this so that you can see. Now, I hope you are liking my setup. I've done one video with this so far. I'm still figuring out a few things. Alright, I figured out how on the song to turn down the volume, but also give you my screen still. Some of these things have done video games. Who would have thought you could do so well on them, right? I mean, look at these. These were just bonus items that came with the land. You would get at least one mystic item with it, and you paid 1 Ethereum at the time, and now these bonus items, many of them are going for more Ethereum. Before, and Ethereum's trading at 15 plus X from what things were going during the crypto winter. And so this is why crypto winter is a fantastic time to buy, because on some of the things you make incredible gains. Some of these just regular rare items that came, you would get mystic items, but also lots of rare items, and you just did phenomenally well. Right, so overall, I appreciate all of your support. If you're one of my favorite rainmakers, I appreciate all the comments you put in this section. Quick note on that, scammers try to pretend that they're me. If you don't see a big black thing around Crypto Rain, it is not me. It's some scammer that copied my image and is trying to get you to call some WhatsApp number. That is absolutely not me. If anyone's trying to get you to call a WhatsApp number, it's almost always a scam, and if they're trying to get you to email them, that's a scam too. The only contact I use is my Twitter, and it's there in the descriptions of the videos. And so, you know, I interact with some people. I can't respond to everyone who PMs me on Twitter, but I do at least check it. I just wish I had more time in the day, because I've loved interacting with many of you. Are very smart crypto investors, very smart investors in general. Some of you are new to this space and very hungry and eager to learn. This is a great time to be here and a great place to learn. I did want to say YouTube also, they get lots of scam ads that are running during these videos. If you haven't made the investment in yourself of paying for a subscription so that you never have to see ads, if you find you're watching more than 10 or 20 minutes a day of YouTube, you might consider making that investment in yourself, and it will remove you from seeing all those ads. I did that 4 years ago, and I've forgotten what a pain it is until I was watching on my wife's YouTube channel, on her YouTube account, and I had all the ads pop up, and it was driving me nuts. And I forgot what a pain that was, because 4 years ago, it wasn't worth my time to go through all those ads and just the extra time it cost me. I'm very, very particular about my time, because our time is the one thing we can't get more of. We only have 24 hours in the day, and how we choose to spend it determines our outcome in life, right? And so I'm very particular about my time. I like to spend my time either learning or growing in different ways, or making money, or just use it well. Or if I'm trying to relax and watch something entertaining on YouTube, I just don't want to be wasting it listening to ads, right? So I thank you all for joining me. We will see you all next time.